What's up, Wallet Monkeys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the Hilton Points Hustle. I don't know what else to call it, but basically we are going to hustle the Hilton Points and status levels really quickly. Now, this isn't terribly hard to do, but I just don't see a lot of content on this specifically. And since Q is already booking up some big flights for the summer and he's got some travel plans, figured we went and dug into this stuff over an hour-long phone call. I wish we would have, filmed the phone call and recorded that instead. But you get my after notes, and hopefully I can remember everything that we talked about. But it breaks down to be pretty easy to follow at the end of the day. So let's start at the top. Right now, travel's gone up, right? Ever since essentially COVID, when everything opened back up again, you notice that with it came higher rates. I think what you're going to conveniently see is that regardless if inflation is 5, 7, 9%, or 2%, that flights and travel is just going to be more expensive. It just seems like that's where things are going to go. Shout out to this video sponsor, us. Recently, we rolled out our credit mastermind, and if you are looking to take your credit to the next level, this might be something for you to check out. So we focus on getting your first or your next $100,000 in credit funding. We stick to a process, a set of steps that we figured out works the best across the boards. And then we work with you one-on-one to dissect your credit profile, get it into position to then hit these simultaneous app sprees so that we can actually get that much in new credit funding. So besides that, we've got a huge members area with, I think right now there's over 50 training videos. There's training courses, videos, you name it, inside of there around the entrepreneurial niche, around that topic, right? Because that's really what we're talking about doing here. We need to take it beyond the money. So getting the money is the easy part. And then we need to figure out what to do with it and build a diversified portfolio. That is what we focus on there, my friends. So now is the best time for you to get started because as time rolls on, the price goes up. So head on over to walletmonkey.io/credit mastermind. You'll be seeing the link on the video right now, and it's down in the description box. Now let's get back into the video. We have to try harder now to be able to travel. It's not so cheap, and it's not worth it to travel so often if you can't travel well. So how do we travel well? One of the ways we could do that is, the American Express ecosystem is so good. It ties into Delta Sky Miles, which is KLM, and I don't even know, there's probably like 6 or more partners that Delta has on its own. So when we start to get into the Delta card or the Platinum card, we can start to extract points and value out of that every time we fly, as long as we're charting it and recording it through our Sky Miles account. We're getting some sort of Sky Miles. If we're booking it directly in Delta, we're getting even more, right? So they make this ecosystem the way that they do. Now, what's interesting is back in the day, I would say, 3-4 years ago, it was actually so much more expensive to book through the American Express portal or the Capital One portal, you name it, whatever portal you want to think of for travel. It was way more money than to just go directly to like Google and try and figure it out yourself or use Scott's Cheap Flights or something like that, right? And especially if you're trying to travel really quick from, and just hop countries really cheap. I never really cared about, statuses and building up points and all that stuff. And coincidentally, I also didn't have a lot of credit back then. What I will say now is that it's such a closer gap between like what I can go find on Google Flights and what I can find on, the apps. So it makes the apps now more than ever worthwhile to do. And what's crazy is that just how much you can get out of this. And it's not domestic, by the way, it's international. So I think I've talked enough. Let's dive into it now. So international on Delta, you've got the 2 highest statuses that you can get on the flight itself is not business, it's not first class. It's actually premium select, then it goes Delta One. And depending on the length of the flight, they'll have Delta One, which is like full sleep pods, right? Premium select is still really good. So anyways, we're gonna walk through an example, and that example is gonna be a flight booking to Turkey. And this trip is gonna happen sometime in 2023. Now, we literally checked this today, the same day I'm shooting this. And we looked for a round trip to Turkey from, I think it was flying out of ATL, because that's a very common place to fly out of. And it tends to be a little bit cheaper. So flying out of Atlanta to Turkey, round trip, it turned out to be $5,035. I think we rounded down. On a lot of this, we round down, so it's just an even number, 5,000, 2,000, etc., right? But that was a premium select seat. Okay, so if you want to go search that out to see what the price is now, make sure that it's a premium select. So he paid, and I've got the receipts. I think we'll probably insert, I've got 30 or so images from him. We're not gonna show all of them, but I'll insert the relevant ones. He paid 104,000 points total. Plus he also had a $99.15 fee in tax, and he opted to buy the insurance. Another quick shameless, side note here is buy the insurance now. I never used to buy the insurance, again, 3-5 years ago when I used to travel. Now more than ever, with how much flights are being canceled, it just makes so much sense to buy the insurance. luggage is lost, etc., buy the insurance. 28 bucks is nothing. 30, $50 is nothing. Okay, so that's what he got charged. Now, how do we bring that back down to, real dollars and figure out how much money that cost? Well, it's very simple, actually. We just do 104,000 points times 0.4. The average price of a Hilton point, let's call it, is 0.4, is what we based it off of, which I think is a little bit low, even on the low side. So that's 41,600, which we take 10% of that, and that gives us essentially roughly US dollars, right? So $416 plus, let's say there was about $75 in taxes. So $491 is essentially what he paid. If you want to convert the points down to US dollars, and so that's roughly a 10x value that he got on the flight alone. Let's also talk about all the other crazy stuff that you get. 2 checked-in bags, you get to sit in the lounges in the airport, the different priorities and things that you're gonna get with the meals, as well as you can literally cancel up to last minute with the flights, and we're gonna cover the hotels in just a second, with the hotels as well. So those things you just don't get if I'm gonna go to all the cheap booking sites and the stuff that's super, super cheap. Understand that the value and how they are able to get that price so cheap is because they're taking things off. This video is about Hilton points. I understand we just started with Delta and a plane ticket. Let's get into the rest of it with Hilton now. So let me show you this really quick. This is the different levels and the benefits that you get. So you go silver, gold, diamond, and with each one, you get a ton of perks, essentially, and extras and amenities, and like I said, lounge access, and different customalities brought out for you, and additional beds, and oh my God, man, it's absolutely crazy what he ended up getting with this. And then I'm gonna share with you how he's like recycling this and stretching out this to include the whole family and get everybody involved. Okay, so anyways, we'll come back to this maybe, but you can see this, and then if you scroll down, you can check that out, right? I've told you guys this, and I'm sure a lot of other people say it, I don't know, but converting your points on almost any platform to a dollar to then use as a statement credit is like the worst way to use it. Now, if you have to, or if you're bored and you don't really know what else to do with it, you don't travel, then sure. But I will tell you that you're usually gonna get more money out value-wise if it's for travel. And then if we're gonna go international, oh, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So here we go. This is all done through Hilton, through the Hilton app. Okay. First thing that's gonna happen is there's 20 nights booked in Eskişehir. So this is in Turkey, Eskişehir. And first off, Hilton has book 4 nights, get the 5th free. So we've got that working for us. Next, you can receive free breakfast, or that's for up to 2 people, or you can take 750 points per day. Now, that's at a Hilton Garden residence, I believe, but if you stayed at a DoubleTree or higher, I think you would actually get 1,000 points or more per day per breakfast that you didn't get. So you don't have to take the breakfast, you take the points instead. Okay, so that's 80,000 points for the 20 nights. Again, we'll be inserting relevant screenshots and photos as needed, okay? And then we gotta start doing some conversions. So again, stick with me here. This is the what is this, the Tilray? Okay, so we gotta do a little bit of math here. TROI, that is the Turkish lira, I think. So 62,480 Turkish lira for the stay, converted to dollars, is 750 points per day for the breakfasts. So that's 15,000 points right back, right off the top. And we're gonna do that on all 3 of these legs of the trip because there's 60 nights total, which again is gonna get them diamond status. Okay, so net spend is at 65,000 points. You get service of basically $3,350. Usually Hilton points are less than 0.4, so we're gonna multiply by that. And somehow, I don't know what we did there. We did the math on it and came up with 21x the value, which is why he's still not booked on the second 20 nights and the third 20 nights, because he might just stay the whole time or more of the time in Eskişehir, because the value proposition being 21x is so much higher than anything else he can get, and they've got bullet trains that can take him anywhere that he wants to go. So he's still kicking around that idea. But anyways, here we go again. 20 nights in another city, 80,000 points. They were all 80,000 points, by the way, for each 20 night block, okay? And then this one, we got a little bit less data because we were just quickly doing the math. 750 points again per day, remember that. 40 nights, also too, at 40 nights, you get 10,000 points. So we'll put up that reward screenshot now too. And then at 50 nights, you get 10,000 again. And then at 60 nights, you get 60,000 total points. So you'll see how this all multiplies. Okay, so this is a 16x in value, essentially, that's probably a little bit on the low side. And then the third block of 20 nights, same thing, 80,000 points. Also remember, we got the 15,000 points, which is from 750 per day. For the breakfast we're not gonna eat, that's $2,340 in value. Again, that's around a 15, 16x in value. Like I said, at 60 nights, you get 60,000 points. Also, there's the 45,000 points from the no breakfast. So we're at 105,000 additional points right there off the rip, which is crazy. And so that's gonna push him into diamond status. And I'm gonna tell you about how this gets real slick in a minute with pooling of points, okay? So what else do we got here? Add 40,000, you get additional benefits. At 40 nights, 40,000 points, you get additional benefits. You get gold status that you can gift to anyone. So he showed me this too. That was crazy. I didn't realize that you could do that. You can gift somebody gold status for a year. That is insane, the value of that. Because just go look up, again, we can come back here and we can look up what gold status gives us. And it interacts with Delta and Sky Miles, and we can have them match our status at different hotels. Like, you gotta understand there's a whole other game to this, right? Matching of status is actually pretty huge. Again, you get all that, you get to give somebody a free year of that, and then, one step closer to diamond status. So after all that's done, and he's done with it, he's gonna rinse and repeat and do the same thing again. He's gonna move over, because right now he's got 273,000 points, I think. You'll probably have seen it on one of the screenshots that we shared. Plus, he's got the new 105,000 points that he just got for the trip, and now he's diamond. He's gonna move all that over to his brother's account, and his brother's taking the trip too. They're gonna do the same thing with that, and then they'll both be at a diamond status, and they'll have 2 gold status to give away to mom and dad. And so now they're at diamond, mom and dad is at gold, and they still got a ton of the points because he's gonna go through, get the 105,000 points himself, and they're gonna just keep moving this around. And you could literally just keep recycling this over and over and over again down the family tree until you're getting cousins and uncles and everybody, right? So it's basically like double dipping on a hard pull. That's the best way I can describe it. And I hope this has been fairly easy to follow, but yeah, that's essentially it, guys. Like, when you start to really break this down with travel, and especially international travel, the quality of your stay, like the quality of hotel you're getting, the amenities that you're getting is absolutely insane. And so that's a great value of a great usage rather of these points. So I hope this has been a great eye opener for you, and also to help you plan. If you do want to start traveling internationally, this is a way to do it. You've got to get a card that's going to support you from a point standpoint. And I think American Express is a great ecosystem to do that because there's so many sub pieces to it. And of course you got Chase, and they've got similar. I just think American Express is a little bit easier to navigate in. They're not so as finicky as Chase. And so again, I think probably overall you're going to have similar experiences. It's just American Express is probably going to be easier to deal with. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. See ya. Hey, you should subscribe. 60% of you are not subscribed yet. Right there. Okay, bye.